yeah, sleep with different people.
So in that, let's say it's been like a year since you've really embraced that. How many people would you have slept with in that year?
Yeah, give us some numbers.
Probably 300.
Damn. Jesus.
In 1 year.
Would that be the average, or is there like a big lump sum in one session?
Oh, in a
After 300 bodies in 1 year, she's ready to settle down, having reach.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
That's why I picked this one.
in a day, 5 in 1 day.
All right, guys, got a banger of an interview right now with the...
Hold on, I gotta go back and hear what she just said.
1 year.
Would that be the average, or is there like a big lump sum in one session?
Oh, in a day, 5 in 1 day.
All right, guys, got a banger of an interview.
Oh no! Ew! 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 What are we doing?
Bruh.
Really, sis?
Yep.
Really? That's what we doing?
Mm-hmm. We free out here.
Oh.
You right now with the...
Ain't no way my man said that. With a straight face.
He knew.
He knew what he was doing?
He knew what he was doing.
He said it with a straight face, though. He got a good poker face.
Doesn't matter. That means that if the joke if the joke don't land, I just said something. If it lands, I made a joke with a straight face. That's it.
It wasn't premeditated. Before the 300 people in a year, I think my body count was like 12. And I was like, I haven't had that much sexual experience. I had an OnlyFans at the time. I was like starting to be a bit more sexually open, try new things. Like it was more of like a me thing, just to like explore myself, I guess. And
it's so funny that like I explored myself by letting others explore my insights.
Yeah, someone, in order to explore yourself, you have to, hire a little Jacques Cousteau to go in the depth of your...
Yeah, and it's 300 and 299 bodies to come through as well.
399 Cousteaus.
That is a lot of exploration going into your deep caverns.
A lot of submarines.
But yeah, I never expected any of this to happen, and it definitely was not planned, which is insane.
So is that 12 people total or 12 people per year prior to this? You said 12 people. Was that like 12 total? And then you went to the 300?
12 people. Yeah, 12 people total.
And then 300. Okay, so now let's get into the juicy stuff here. So first and foremost here, because I got to ask, because a lot of people are asking DM, because we have a rating system, I'm able to kind of gauge, guys are able to gauge. I'm married now. I don't gauge anything, by the way. Nothing. Nothing. So happily married.
You look like you're lying. I don't know what it is you're lying about, but you sound suspicious. Whatever you said you didn't do, I now believe you do. And your wife should be made aware. Did he not sound so guilty? Yeah, guys have. I would never. I'm married now, so I would never do that. But guys.
You sound a bit sick by doing that like that, but it is what it is.
Thou doth protest a little too much.
So,
as the homie Shakespeare would say, I don't want to plagiarize.
Oh, that's homie Shakes?
That's the homie Shakes. Hey, Spears was killing it back in the day. Yeah, he was putting on them plays.
Speezy.
The homie.
Shakes Peasy.
Yeah. Shakes Peasy.
What is your rating system when you're going through, picking the 300? Is it like they got to be a 7 and up? What's your rating of a 7? Have you lowered your standards to get to the 300? Because again, if you have that volume, I would think quality would go down. What's your criteria here?
No, I am seriously picky. Like, I would not go below a 7. Obviously, personality is probably more important to me, but if it is just going to be a one-night stand, then I would rather go off looks, because at the end of the day, we're not going to be doing that much talking. So yeah, I would never drop below.
Because it sounds like you're picky, but out of the 300, if you really like somebody, I would assume that person would probably be...
How you picky and you got 300 bodies?
How, Sway?
In a year.
In a year.
I think she's talking only about looks. Looks and nothing else. Gotta be. I think that's what it was.
We're missing something in the equation here, because something ain't right. How you go from having 12 bodies, period.
She wanted to have a hoe phase. And she did. You are now a hoe. Congratulations.
Be with you and dating you to some degree, or you just don't want to date at all?
Yeah, I think honestly, it's crazy because my criteria is very simple. I want a guy who's loyal, family orientated, kind, non-judgmental, intelligent. I think intelligence is a really important thing for me. Someone who's just equal to the way that I think, and also my morals. lot of people say I don't have any morals, but I do. So someone who's like on the same page as me with that. So they're not that crazy, but it is really hard to find a loyal, honest, nice guy these days.
Really? Well, that's interesting.
And
Maybe you're looking in the wrong places. Maybe you're looking in the wrong places.
I'm pretty open-minded. Any woman sleeping with 5 dudes in a day, I'm gonna think she got problems. Unless it's your job, which even then you probably have job problems for doing that job. I kidding. 5 niggas in one day?
You can be open-minded, open-minded as much as you want.
The initial thing is for me. Okay, look. All right, so we married. I'm just think about our one session. Now, just one session. But now, take into consideration that our one session may not be everybody's one session.
Oh, boy.
Because I like a lot. I like stuff a lot. And so I usually tend to take a lot when the time comes for me to take.
Wow.
So I take that into consideration. I think that my cardio now is terrible, the worst it's ever been in my life. But I've always been skinny and small, and I was on the Bruce Lee thing for a long time. I was a cut little guy that was really small. I always worked out. I always exercised. I like to play basketball, although I sucked, but I like to play it. I was always in good shape. Now all I do is really work out, and I'm trying to figure out a way to get my cardio in there and stuff like that. But all of that being said, I'm not a guy who sits on the couch. Nope. So maybe, I'm sorry. Sometimes, a lot of times, I might be, I might take a little too much.
Too much? I went too far.
I don't know.
Just tell them all.
I don't know what happens. You go into the bathroom and you got to deal with all of the damage that has been wrought.
Oh my goodness.
So that being the case, I'm not saying because our one time might be other people's 2 times or 3 times. That's what I'm trying to say. Mm-hmm. But could you think, from our perspective, because that's all we got, it's our perspective. From our one time, could you imagine doing that 4 more times before the day is over?
That's ridiculous.
With different people.
I'm trying to figure out, how do you have the time to do that?
It's a very good point.
How do you not have a wicked yeast infection?
Whoa!
Yeah.
She might have. She didn't. She might have. She just didn't tell us. And then the thing is, now she's ready to settle down.
Seriously?
Yeah. I don't. Could you say it's hard to find a guy who's loyal, who's honest, this, that? No. No, stop.
Stop it.
Stop doing that. Stop saying that.
Stop it.
It is not hard to find a loyal, honest guy.
No, absolutely not.
You're talking about good, old-fashioned core values.
Yep.
That is not hard to find.
Nope.
It's hard to find it in the package that you want.
Yep.
It's hard to find that guy, and he makes a certain amount of money, and he looks a certain way. She's, a traditionally pretty woman. So I can imagine her saying, because I'm traditionally pretty, I want to get guys on a certain level financially and on a certain level as far as how they look. Yes. So that's what's hard to find. Mm-hmm. Because guys that are on the level that you probably want,
I'm rich,
don't give a rat's about you, because there are 50 of you vying for his attention at this very moment. So he don't care about you. And he's just sampling all of you. And all of the other guys that are in that age range are probably already taken or not straight. So the ones that are left, they just have an abundance of women, and you are just like the rest of them. All y'all college-educated, beautiful women who want him because he's got money and he looks a certain way. All y'all want him. So you just in the rat race with the rest of them. And you shot yourself in the foot with your ability to be the type of woman that he probably wants. You messed yourself up. Yeah. You just be honest, you did. He wants Beyonce looks with Michelle Obama class. That's what he wants. Let's just put a narrative. Let's say you got Beyonce looks with Sukihana class. That's not Michelle Obama's. Michelle Obama's over here. Sukihana's over there. They not nowhere near each other. That's. I don't know if you got anything to say, but she done effed her life up. As far as relationships, I mean, she probably always be able to make some money and do whatever, but her relationship situation is gonna be jacked up.
Comment down below and let us know what you guys think. And if you're still here, go ahead and smash that subscribe button. Let us know that you appreciate what we're putting down. All right. And also, because we like commitment over here. Okay. We like to know that you like us and that you want to hear from us. Plus, as Jay would say, won't be giving up no draws for free.
Exactly.
Because we committed on this side of the fence.
That's right.
So yeah, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. One of the things she said, she wants a guy who has certain values, who's not judgmental. She doesn't want him to judge her with the bodies that she's had.
Yeah, good luck with that.
I don't understand why we think that we don't judge each other.
Because you're just lying to yourself.
To a certain extent.
Lying to yourself.
We all judge each other to a certain extent.
Lying to yourself.
Like, that makes a difference. Yes, that might be your past, but that makes a difference.
Lying to yourself that the past held no sway over the future.
We said it on this channel so many times. There's something called pair bonding that happens every time you sleep with somebody. It diminishes scientifically for women after you have, 3 to 5, I think it was, or something like that on average.
Women after 5, men after 7.
Meaning that now she wants to settle down, she wants to get married. She's going to have a very difficult time connecting with her husband. It's going to cause a lot of drama. And guys know whether or not they understand the science behind it, but they understand that the more experienced a woman is in that category by having multiple partners, the harder it's going to be for him to be able to please her and for them to have like a healthy sex life.
Yeah.
So it's just like, you can't say, oh, I don't want them to judge me for what I've done, but you know the type of relationship that you want to have. And the guy knows the type of relationship that he wants to have. So if you give him this information, yeah, he's going to have the judgment to say, okay, this is not what I want. Because I know what baggage that comes with. We all have baggage, okay?
Okay.
Us included. We are not eliminated from that. But it's just like, you have to understand that when you make these choices, when you make these decisions, there are consequences.
Just stop lying to yourself and kidding yourself about tomorrows.
Regardless of whether or not you say, oh, you judging me, don't judge me. No, it's going to happen because there are things that you might not even realize psychologically that something ain't right. Okay, first of all, for you to be doing that with 5 different people in one day, something ain't right. Something happened. Don't know what happened, but something ain't happened. Something ain't right. So there's a lot of psychological stuff that's going on because that's not normal, especially for women, to just decide like, okay, well, I want to experiment, and so I'm just gonna do whatever with whomever as many times as I want to.
I'm not even sure that I could say that it's psychological. Only because we live in a society that tells you that you should be able to do whatever you want. And if you buy into that, it may not necessarily be that there's anything psychologically wrong with you, is that you're buying into the narrative that's constantly being fed to you from every place that it can be. And at some point you can start to believe it, especially if it was something that you grew up in. It might not even be a psychological thing in that sense. I think it's possible nowadays that women are just doing it and then shocked when they have to live with the consequences because they didn't think there would be consequences.
That sucks, man.
I just don't understand how you go from going to having 12 period.
Well, first of
to
all,
having 301 year.
She don't look 40 years old. 12 period is not a little bit.
No,
either.
it's not.
Like her ability to pair bond has already been impaired.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, there was a switch. It had to be something that clicked.
She wanted to have a whole phase because that's what it is now. I just want to have a whole phase. Like, I just want to experiment. And a lot of women, like you said, don't understand that there will be consequences for what you do. And yes, people should judge you for it because
that's how we learn.
They're going to, first of all, the person in a relationship is going to have to deal with the consequences of what you do. Yep. To think that you can have sex with 300 people and have no consequences psychologically, mentally, physically.
Well, that doesn't make sense.
You're not living in reality. There are consequences to you going out and having sex with all these people. Maybe with certain people, it'll be a lot more because of other damage they already have. And some people, it might be a lot less because they were just doing it literally, like I said, because, they were just convinced that there would be nothing wrong with it because of the environment that they're in. But here's the thing that I want a lot of women to understand. There is a very small proportion of men who are hyper successful who would still want women who have very promiscuous, who have a lot of bodies. And those men tend to parade their women around. Right? Or those women parade themselves around and show off their lifestyle. And women have been duped into thinking that that's more what normal guys, even in that higher tax bracket, want. sports people and people in the arts. So all of the rappers and all of that other stuff and people dealing with any of the arts, fashion people, all of them that are rich. Then you have the sports people who are rich. They see these guys who want these women with these altered bodies, like Offset with Cardi B, even though they're getting a divorce now. And you got, all the people chasing around Nicki Minaj. And, so you have these high profile people who have had all these augmentations, who promote a more sexually free lifestyle. And they think that that's most men, or at least most men who make a certain amount of money. And it's not. That literally, when you add up all of those people, it literally comes down to about 2 to 3% of people who are rich or who make, even if you want to be like, oh, I just need a guy who makes over $200,000. Most of them are just business people, or maybe they own their own business. And it's a very small amount of them too. A lot of people don't understand that business people, both male and female, is a very small proportion of them who are rich. Most business people are broke, more broke than people who work regular jobs, because regular jobs have stability. I just wanted to put that out there because I know that there's a proportion of people that go, these girls with these big booties and stuff, all of these men want them. No, they want to smash. And since you're going to willingly give it to me because of the status that I have, I'm going to take it. Yep. That's all a lot of those guys think. And I just want women to know that, so that they're not being lied to, because a lot of you guys are being lied to, and I know that.
They're lying to you. You understand?
Yeah, I mean, everything in life we are judged for to a certain extent.
Yeah, that's true.
If you want to buy a house, guess what? You get judged. They want to know whether or not you can pay your bills. They're going to look at your credit history. They're going to see whether or not you paid your bills on time. Okay, you got to give them like years, like back years. You have to give a whole bunch of information. Like, you are always going to be judged based on the things that you do in society. That's how we're able to determine your actions in the future, the probability of your actions in the future.
There you go.
We need to stop lying to ourselves and be like, oh, we don't need to judge people, or don't judge me. No, you're going to be judged.
You know that I'm telling the truth.
Now, whether or not you should be like condemning people or something like that, that's different. But everybody has their own moral compass or whatever, whether or not they agree or disagree with the way people do things in life. That's how we're raised. That's how we understand how to be able to go about life, how we know to make decisions. We have to be able to analyze situations based on people's actions to determine whether or not we're going to move forward, with any and everything in life. That's just something I just wanted to put out there as far as like judgment. We all judge.
Well, you got that right.
You know how many situations you would walk into if you didn't listen to red flags? Like, listen to red flags is literally judge people.
Yes.
That's what that means. When somebody has a red flag, that means you're making a judgment call.
Right.
And the thing is, we've made judgment negative is because we've turned judgment into condemnation. Just because you were some way in the past, does that mean that you're going to be that exact way in the future? No. We'd be like, oh, you're going to hell because of what you're doing and all of that stuff. That's the issue. But the reality is the probability of you doing something is based on your past. The probability of you having damage from something is based on your past. And the reality is when you do things, especially if you do it over and over again, it becomes a part of who you are. It is the way our brains work. And I think a lot of people who deny this stuff is because they don't understand, much like I didn't. I know this stuff. Didn't know. Your thoughts become words become actions, actions become habits, habits become personality traits.
It only takes 21 days to form a habit.
So you got to understand that there's a reason why these things are in place, because how we are built biologically, it's not about even what we want to do. I don't think people want to walk around and they just want to make everybody feel bad. People are shaming because of the consequences that these actions are having on society. Yes. Not just because it makes them feel a certain way. There's some people that it's just because it makes them feel a certain way. Bruh. But even if I'm doing it to make myself feel better, if the reality is you doing this makes that happen, if there's a consequence for your action, you need to know what that consequence is. And don't be upset when somebody says, if you keep doing that, this is going to happen. If you keep on putting your hand over that stove when it's on, you're going to get burned. And then you get mad at the person that's telling you you're going to get burned.
Or get mad at the fire.
That's literally what it is. So I 100% agree with that point. That was actually a great point.
Yeah.
That's definitely going in the video.